Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Notre Dame Primetime Live. I am your host, Ryan Fravel, with my co-host, Ben and Sean, a.k.a. ND Forever. We are back after another long week of people stressing about who the quarterback was going to be. We had the Sunday press conference that everyone freaked out about because Freeman made it sound like they weren't close to a decision yet, didn't know who they were going to have as a starter. Just less than 48 hours later, we find out that CJ Carr, who many thought coming out of spring was going to be the quarterback, in fact, is going to be your starting quarterback for week 1 at Miami. I know Sean's happy. I can't really flex anything because I was on the Carr train for a while. Then in this past week, I kind of, was upset about it for a day. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm fine with Minchie being the starter. And now we find out it's in fact Carr. So, Sean, I'll let you get your victory lap in. You were correct. What are your thoughts on CJ Carr being our starter week 1 at Hard Rock Stadium?
You know what? I'll tell you what I think. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Here we go.
Here we go. Hey, yo, man.
You gotta sing along to it.
Carr, man. Come on. Yeah. I'm hyped. You know, I had to do that for all those little Minchie men. But yeah, I mean,
little Minchie men.
A little Minchie men. Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Everyone clutch their pearls.
Yeah. I mean, I told you last week when we were talking about this and it looked like it was Minchie. I still felt like it was Carr. But based off everything I was hearing and based off seeing too, I mean, versus media, but I still had that feeling feeling it was Carr. And I stuck with my prediction with it. If it was Minchie, like I told you last week, I would be so happy and I'd rally behind Minchie. It's nothing against Minchie. I think he's going to be great. And I hope that he has a bright future ahead of him at Notre Dame. But I'm super pumped. This is the quarterback I've wanted. This is the elite guy that we needed, right? And we'll talk about the differences between the two later. But this is as good as you can get. I said in a space earlier that you don't want a guy that's – if we have another check down queen, not saying Minchie would be that. If you have another check down queen, you're going to make the playoffs, but you're not going to win. You need a game changer, not a game manager, right? This guy, yes, there's going to be learning curves, but this is going to probably be the best quarterback we've had as a quarterback in a minute. This is big. Like, this is big that Carr is the starter. And why I think Minchie early on probably could be the better option in terms of playing it safe or just accuracy or things. The learning curve from Carr in the long run, I think the difference between Minchie and Carr is making the playoffs consistently or eventually winning a natty. And I do think Carr is the one that could do that. And I mean, this is just a fantastic elite decision by Freeman. I'm just happy that the university picked their quarterback and the battle's over so Notre Dame fans can stop clashing. But yeah, Carr, man, I'm so excited.
All right, Ben, I know as a fellow Minchie Men member, how are you feeling with CJ Carr being announced quarterback 1?
You know what? We pissed off the fucking fan base for a little bit there. We had grandma and grandpa clenching their pearls for a little bit. I want to say this: the Minchie Men, this isn't towards Sean. This is towards other people in the Notre Dame fan base who did certain things when we were getting the intel that Minchie might be the starter, or as Brian Driscoll would say, my sources say it's guaranteed he's going to be the starter.
They've already told the team.
Then fuck it. Oh my God, Brian Driscoll has set this fan base back so many damn years. It's like de-evolutionizing, but.
Oh, man.
But we were able to tell the difference between some fans on did they want a certain quarterback or did they want the team to have the best player? Not saying Carr isn't the best player, because I always proves Carr's a better player. Now I don't know if he's that much better player, I think Minchie got a lot better during the summer, and it had to be that way because we saw Minchie in the spring game. Um, we saw Minchie in the spring game. He was better. He's had to play better here now than he did in the spring game because in the spring game he did not play 1A1. He did not play 1A1B with Carr. Right now it seems like he's playing 1A1B. So that's why I think we need to look at.
When you do have a 1A, 1B, though, and you label Carr as either the generational guy or the program guy, to be even, I do credit Horka for saying this. If Minchie is just a little better, or if it's like 55-45, maybe 60-40, you still roll with Carr because of the potential. And I think if it was miles better, Minchie would be the starter. But if it's close, I do think both coaches, like I said, credit to Horka, looked at potential. And I think they think that Carr's potential as a pure passer is higher than Minchie's. And I think that's why they went with that. And I said in the space, too, this isn't a big deal. I think no matter what, both quarterbacks would be here multiple years. But having a sophomore red shirt and a freshman red shirt, it's going to mean something. We're guaranteed to have multiple years of Carr. If Kenny Minchie went out and had a Joe Burrow year, he could enter the draft if he really wanted to. We're guaranteed to have multiple years of Carr. And that is important not only for the program, as a fan base. We are dying. We need a homegrown quarterback, and we finally have one. And both would have been great, but I do think that if Minchie was even leading, with how close it was, you have to go with the potential. And that's why I've been saying it needs to be Carr, because you have to go with the potential.
Yeah, like we said, Carr was the better quarterback option. We know that now. That's what this decision says. Now, was it a better quarterback option for certain times? Who knows? Maybe Minchie, maybe there was a point. Maybe Driscoll was right. Maybe there was a point where Minchie was the quarterback and that he was just being arrogant by saying that. They told the team, which they never freaking, oh my God, I hate Brand Driscoll all day. My passion. But maybe there was that point where it was happening like that. But now we're at the point now where we're seeing people, and there's certain people in the fan base who are saying, oh, like Minchie sucks. Like Minchie's not good. There were certain people who did that. And I'm like, you guys aren't caring about who's that we get our quarterback. You're caring about being correct. And I said in the space, I know multiple people said in the space, if I was 100% wrong about everything about football and Notre Dame won a national championship, I would live the rest of my life happy. I don't care about being correct. I care about holding up the trophy. I care about winning 16 games this season, which I think we can do. I think we can do with any of the quarterbacks that we have out there. That this team's really good, and they're all risk. But also, and I want to add on, Carr's a great quarterback. He's got to be a guy. The big question with him is the turnovers. I think a lot of the turnovers are things that are fixed, like with being confident in yourself. Maybe one of the reports was that he underthrew a guy on the deep ball. I don't think he's taking a deep ball that often in a game. And that's also in a practice with what they had 50. Supposedly Marcus Freeman split exactly 50 plays down the middle for each quarterback. I don't know if that's true, but that's not going to happen in a game. You know you're getting those 50 plays in the game.
And let's be honest, the penalties negated 2 of the picks. While, yes, the picks still happened.
They still happened.
But they still happen, which you want to keep track of that.
There's still multiple areas that you need to get better over time.
Yes.
Yes. I do think, because I was one of those people that was early on accused of just not wanting to be wrong. For me, and this was hard for me to articulate this at the time in this space, for me it was more, we had invested as a program so much into Carr. The reports are that he has a pretty decently sized NIL deal. Ever since he committed back in 2022, all the media outlets, everybody you talk to is like, this guy's like the next coming of Brady Quinn. He's going to be like Jimmy Clausen. He's going to take this he's the future of the program. Every national media thing you talk to, it's like, he's not Arch Manning, but he's Notre Dame's version of Arch Manning. And like, to me, it was more of like, I couldn't comprehend that we got lied to and that all the hype was for nothing. And Carr wasn't the guy that he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it took me a day to kind of be like, hey, maybe Minchie, and it wasn't like more Minchie was bad. I just thought the Carr, from what we had seen in spring games, which people would be like, oh, it's spring games. when both of them haven't played, the closest thing to a game we've seen is the spring game. At least that's been televised. Because I don't know about you guys, but for me, the writers can tell us one thing,
but your eyes.
But your eyes can tell us another one. And the only two times that we saw both of these guys play
spring games
live,
and Carr looked better in both spring games.
Yeah, and so
I think that's where we find a confusion here, at least between me and you, Fravel. I don't think it's that Carr didn't live up to the hype if he didn't get named quarterback one. I think it's that it proves how good Minchie got in one summer. Because even the coaches talked about it. They don't even know like what happened. Like they feel like Minchie came out as a whole new person. And really at the end of the day, like if no matter what happened here, I'm happy. I've said it in the group chat, I've said it on Twitter. I could give a shit less if I'm correct on who's quarterback or if Brian Driscoll's correct or if Mike Singer or Mike Goolsby's correct. I don't want us to miss an opportunity at practice to fix problems because we have to figure out who our quarterback is. Because that's the dumbest thing in my mind. That we take practices to figure this shit out. This should have been figured out at camp. Luckily, we only had to take one practice for it.
I flipped Ryan a little bit. Like I'll be honest. Like,
well, that takes a lot. Like he's a big dude.
I care more about success and winning, and obviously I care more about having a successful season. It's not saying that, but like you said, care about being right. I didn't care about being right. I had no care at all for being right. The last week I started to get a little bit like that, and that is like not because of the quarterback battle, not because I like Minchie versus Carr, but because of the aspect in the group chat. And
the toxicity. The toxicity
with the toxic stuff with it, it made me like, okay, I want to prove y'all wrong kind of thing. And it wasn't like if it was Minchie, like I said in the chat, I was wrong. I'm supporting Minchie. I want Minchie to go win a natty, and I'll get a shirt with his face on it. Like I'll get his jersey. I'm with Minchie.
Well, I think that's where the separation came from. A lot of people saw what other people were posting, and then they just we combine it. Just assume everybody's the problem. Yeah, mob mentality.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. I don't remember, like, Sean, you're about the same age as me. I don't remember. I also think part of it's like this fan base has not seen a legitimate quarterback battle like this since Kaiser and Zaire. And I don't remember that one being anywhere close to as toxic with the fan base.
I also think it was a divide not only between fan base aspects, but I think a little bit of age had to do with that. And I do think that there are a lot of fans, whether it was Minchie or not, that are a little bit younger. And I think with that aspect is they didn't have to live through all of the sucky years that we had to live through. They came in and they went to the BCS Natty. And then they had that 4-8 year, but Notre Dame's been a 10-win team for pretty much the whole time they've been a fan. So they're just very comfortable with that. But a lot of us who had to live through some of the other things of Notre Dame being 6-6, not being anywhere close to a championship caliber team, being a quarterback away for such a long time, we had a different opinion because we really felt that this person could be the difference in that. Do you think that? You mentioned NIL, and I listened to a podcast this morning of an On3 guy, and their response to this was no, the coaches are no matter what going to play the better player because they want to win. But they did ask the question, hey, if a quarterback you bring in is making more NIL than another quarterback and the competition is close, do you roll with the guy that you're already giving the money to, or do you roll with the other guy? Do you think that had any effect whatsoever? Hey,
so I wanted to get into that because I was listening to CBS Sports and they were talking about it for about 20 minutes today. And I'm blanking on Chip Patterson was talking about it.
Chip Patterson, that's a TV name.
And then there was I was listening to Andy and Ari today on their show.
That's what I was listening to.
And so I hate this narrative. Because now people are going to run with this narrative, especially people that were anti-Carr. Not the Minchie men. Most of the Minchie men were just doing it just to piss people off. And it was kind of funny, right? But
I would say one person was doing it to piss somebody off. The rest of us were fully supporting our quarterback. I want to make that clear. It's the one dude who took 30 minutes to change his profile picture.
But the narrative that sucks, the narrative that Carr only did Carr only get the job because he has a bigger NIL deal and Freeman invested more into him, so that gave him the edge? I don't buy that. I think that that's
I
just
think that's disrespecting Carr, him as a quarterback and his talent. I don't think Freeman gives a shit about NIL deals or who he recruited. I don't think he's going to be biased in that situation on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe on the defense side of the ball when it comes to coaches, who he's got to go after coaches wise. But on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think he gives a shit if CJ Carr's an NIL deal. Guess what? Bo Collins had an NIL deal last year. Guess what Bo Collins did?
He's about
Jack
to start
shit.
for the New York Giants.
He's going to start for the Giants. He finally learned how to catch a football.
I know.
I
think that's disrespecting Carr by saying like, oh well, Freeman's showing bias. Like, no, Freeman's picking the better quarterback.
Yeah.
This is the best quarterback.
Again, I love some of the people in the group chat, but you could see it early on in fall camp. There are people that were like, "Oh, well, Carr's only getting a lot of hype because of his last name." Which, by the way, if that to me, that's a dumb opinion because who is CJ Carr's grandfather? A Michigan coach that won him a national championship. I don't think Notre Dame fans really give a shit that CJ Carr's grandpa was the head coach at Michigan and won Michigan a national championship. Like, that has nothing to do with, like, his last name has nothing to do with it. And like Ari was talking about, basically like assuming, well, does this mean in college football that who the better quarterback is doesn't matter? It's just how much your NIL deal is, how much your star rating was at high school, and who your family is. And I'm like, that is such a disservice to Carr.
Yeah,
like,
and all the work he's put in. I mean, you got to think, too, on the aspect of, Carr's only getting attention because of his name right now at Notre Dame. What about all the players that are also sons of legends that are starting and balling out for Notre Dame, right? Those guys, because of their name, they're good. They're going to the NFL now because, I agree. Do you find it Minchie was leading all through fall camp? Won it. I mean, who says that? I mean, yes, Minchie was leading. I do agree that Minchie was leading, but maybe I even said this in a space today. Maybe I really do feel that the coaches kept their cards to their chest. They didn't say anything about the battle. They wanted to be the ones to tell the quarterback who was winning and who was losing before anything got out. And I think that people started speculating because, out of all the practices in the fall, the media went to like 4 or 5 of them. Every single one of those meant she looked better, right? So then you're assuming that he was better throughout all fall camp. And then the other aspect is they're not hearing anything. Why is Carr not listed as the starter yet? I guess that means they're assuming Minchie is better, and they're assuming – that's what I think like the Driscolls of the world are doing. They were assuming, right?
I don't know. I don't know if he was assuming. I think he was given intel. When we talk about this a lot in the spaces, when stuff comes out, it's coming out on purpose. Marcus Freeman's he does not have any loose creeks in his ship. No sinking ship here. When stuff comes out, it comes out on purpose. I think he was given intel. He was told not to run with it, and he did not listen. I think he was fully trying to commit to the idea that I'm going to get the earliest I could possibly. Because let's be honest here, this is the biggest thing in Notre Dame media since probably is Ian Book going to come back for another year when it comes to the quarterback wise. This is the biggest thing in Notre Dame media. If Brian Driscoll was able to break that and be the first one to do it and then be right, this skyrockets him as like one of the better Notre Dame beat reporters that has better intel.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people had that intel, so you're probably right on that aspect, that if it was just Brian Driscoll, it would be different. But when every single media member is thinking it's Minchie, that could also, I do agree on that aspect. Yeah, it is a long-term decision. I mentioned that earlier with eligibility-wise, but I do think Carr's good enough to win now, right? I think that they just know that he can develop into – let's be real. Minchie has an arm. I've never said otherwise. Minchie has talent. I've never said otherwise. But everybody on a podcast, Blue and Gold, whatever it is, always mentions that Minchie does play it safer than Carr, right? I want a guy that is going to sling it and do what they can to win and not play it safe. And I think that's what Freeman wants too. We've had safe, and safe hasn't worked. safe hasn't
I-
worked.
I did find it interesting because I was listening to Matt Zenitz on his podcast today, and he was talking about from what his sources tell him. Now, Matt Zenitz is not a Notre Dame insider, but he's a college football insider. He's been doing this for a long time. But according to him, his sources told him that it was Minchie for most of this past week. But within the last few days, Carr, what was the word he used? I'm blanking on the words he used. Carr overtook him the last few days. So I don't know if that was Monday. I don't know if that includes Sunday. I don't know. But that's just what his sources told me. So I just, to me, and I kind of see what Noah was trying to say. Like, why would it, if Minchie was leading all camp, why would Carr randomly get named the judge? Maybe Carr was just better the last few days. I know that there was some stuff that came out that the staff kind of had a disagreement over who the starter should be, and they wanted to wait till after the Sunday scrimmage to announce it.
Yeah.
So maybe, and again, like, we don't know. Denbrock could have been one that was like, hey, I want Carr. I want to air the ball out more. Or it could have been Freeman. We don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that overall, Carr, as of right now, the coaches are telling you he won the job. He's the best quarterback, and we ride with that August 31st. And again, for all the Minchie people, I guarantee you're going to see Kenny play this year.
Well, no, and that's one thing, and I keep bringing up Brian fucking Driscoll, but it's just because I wanted to hear him admit before this. Like, I was eating dinner before this, and I wanted to hear Brian Driscoll admit that he got it wrong. So I turned on his podcast to hear him admit he got it wrong.
He did.
And one thing he did mention, though, it's like, well, what if this is like a situation where this is who we're safest and confident in right now, but it might change? I don't agree with that. I think this is a decision of who's our quarterback throughout the whole year. I do want to bring up. Can you bring up that Zesty Onyx guy's one comment about safety?
Zesty Onyx, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the one Zeddy. I thought it said Zesty. Yeah, we played it. Realistically speaking, and this is where I disagree with it. I would rather have the safer quarterback in this situation. Not say, but the thing is, though, I don't think CJ Carr's unsafe.
Yeah.
But when you run the problems with these younger quarterbacks is the ones who take more risk are the ones who are going to take risk in situations where they shouldn't.
Yeah.
For example, but last year I would say it was a little different because after that NIU loss, what I say every single time we talk about it in space, every game was a championship game. Every game was a playoff game.
Yeah.
We knew we could not lose if we wanted to go to the playoffs, and we knew we had a chance of making it if we won every game. And then we treat every game like a playoff game. And that's why I thought we had an advantage going into the playoffs, was because these teams have been like kind of saying like, oh, let's go out there and go undefeated. Let's go out there and win our conference. We were treating every game as a playoff game, and that's why I feel like we were more ready come game day.
Well, and also here's my thing. I don't agree with the whole, like, people are saying like safer is a good thing. Safer is a good thing. You can air the ball out and be safe with it too. Like, here's my thing. So,
I think
like,
he's safe with airing the ball out, though.
Eventually,
I think the safety problem's coming from, did CJ Carr throw picks? And people are going to say, well, that's risk. He's taking risk on this play.
But the thing is, hold on a second. Let me get this point real quick.
Yeah.
Last team, we had to play like that because of Riley's inability to consistently push the ball downfield. Which, again, that was what Mike Denbrock felt comfortable with. That's not the Mike Denbrock offense he wants to run.
Yes.
And to me, there's a difference between being safe and playing not to lose.
Yeah, being safe and being smart. Those are two different things.
Yes.
I mean, I will say, when I say safe, I think it's very narrow-minded to compare last year in a one-year example. Not at you, Zeddy, just in general. But I will say that there's a fine line. Obviously, when I say I don't want a quarterback necessarily to play it safe, I'm not talking about Nathan Peterman throwing 5 picks for the Bills, right? I'm not talking that aspect. But when you talk, yes, safe is usually good. But I'm talking about, look at the elite of the elite quarterbacks. Look at the Joe Burrows. Look at the
Cam Wards.
The Cam Wards. Those guys are, yes, playing safe, But they are not just checking down. They're airing it out. They're not playing safe, and they're playing to win. And that's where I think the elite quarterback difference is. I'm not saying don't play it safe. I think there's a difference between playing safe and smart. I do agree. Yes, you need to be safe. Yes, we were safe last year and everything. I'm not saying CJ Carr, if he throws 5 picks, I'm not going to not be happy. I'm just saying I want to finally have a guy that can sit there and have the elite arm and have the elite traits and play with elite game. Not just check down because we're safe. We're good at running the ball. We have a good O-line. Let's just play it safe and let's just play a narrow type of offense.
I just don't think Kenny. I think we're taking the word safe, and we keep talking about the word fucking safe, and it's just we're gonna have an exact definition of safe someday. I don't think Kenny is like overly safe. I don't think Kenny is like, for example, I don't think he's he's taking checkdowns when there might be a pass over the top. I think it's just Kenny knew he had the chance of winning the job. I don't want to take overly exaggerated risk if I have the chance of winning a job. I think that's Kenny just knowing situation he's in, which I like that a little bit more than the whole
saying I got to win the job and I got to show out.
Yeah, I got to show out, which nothing's wrong with that. I think that's just trying to impress the coaches. Now, how he's got to play in the actual game, we don't know. We'll figure it out in 2 weeks, which I want to point out. We're only 12 days away from the first game of the season.
And my thing is, like, I think, again, this is a lot of recency bias from our fan base, and they grew comfortable with the style we played last year, and it led us to a national championship. But eventually, what cost us the national championship was we met a team that outskilled us, was the better team, had more talent, and let's be honest, we didn't have a quarterback that could go blow for blow with Will Howard in Ohio State.
But that was the best game Riley Leonard had all season passing the ball. In that second half, Riley Leonard was tearing them.
I agree. But there comes to a point where, what was it like? That was the reason why a lot of people picked us to lose to Georgia and Penn State, was because they viewed the talent differential and they said, when you play teams that have more talent and are just on paper supposed to be better than you, you need a quarterback that doesn't just go out there and not lose you the game and play not to lose, but eventually you're going to need a time where your quarterback is going to have to go out there and win you the football game. And Riley was able to do it against Georgia and Penn State. He wasn't able to do it against Ohio State. Now, that's not just on him, it's also the team around him. But
I think that had to do with, I think that had a lot more to do with the play calling more than anything. I think if we fully tried to pass the ball, I think we would have done better. I think that game would have been, we probably might, I don't know if we would have won the game, but we would have been close.
That we had a 9-minute, 10-minute drive. And when I was there, I mean, it just really felt like we were going to win. And then even the second half coming back, I still think if we make that field goal, we still have a chance at the end. But God, the team was so resilient. And I really hope this team carries some of those traits over. I really hope they do.
I just think that for if Notre Dame gets in the playoff, right, when you play in Oregon or you play in Ohio State, teams that have high-flying offenses, they're going to score. Doesn't matter how good Notre Dame's defense was last year. They gave up 30-plus to USC. They gave 30-plus up to Ohio State. They gave up
24 to Penn State.
Yeah. There are going to be teams that you face that just have great talent. They're going to be able to overcome how great your defense is. You need to have a quarterback that can go out there and go drive you down the field 75, 80 yards to win you the game. And with how great Riley was, he wasn't that guy. You need a certain level of quarterback to win a national championship. I'm not saying you have to have Cam Ward every single year because Notre Dame's team is so good that you don't need that, but you need somebody at least Will Howard level.
I will say that it's a little different with Riley because, yes, his arm wasn't there, but with his legs, I don't think I've seen a quarterback in the last decade to be as good and effective running the ball just as a pure runner as him. So I think that made up for it to where we had a certain advantage. But I do agree in a time where you have to throw the ball, you have to have someone that can. And I still think Riley at the end of the year did that. I think
Well,
he.
the one thing I'll push back on the whole we need a guy that throws the ball. That Georgia game, we're not winning with a guy that throws the ball. I hate to say it, our wide receivers couldn't get open.
Yeah,
If
They
we could throw
were
the ball, if we could
no,
throw the ball,
we've had this conversation so many times for Ryan. Every single time it ends the same way. Riley Leonard's running ability is what won us that game. Everything
oh,
led to
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying,
everything that we look at overall as a quarterback, Riley Leonard won us that Georgia game. Our players were not getting open. And no, that's the other part. I'm saying on the offensive side, Riley Leonard's the only person that showed up on offense. And maybe Bo Collins, he finally caught a fucking football. But on the offensive side, Riley Leonard, the only player you could take out of there is maybe Cam Ward, because there were times Cam Ward showed he had running ability when they had to kind of break out of the pocket and run for it. But Riley Leonard's running ability is what won us that game, because our players were not getting open. Our running backs were getting stuffed up the middle a lot. It was the option of running with Leonard, and then of course the coaching situation. Marcus Freeman out coached.
well, the defense, and
the defense showed up a lot. Of course, the kick return for a touchdown. But offensive side of the ball, we do not win. We do not do better with someone that's not Riley.
My only pushback to that would be Georgia defends that game differently if we have a quarterback that can throw. Georgia
had one of the best secondaries in the country.
Yeah,
I'm saying, but they played that game, press man coverage, stack the box. If you have a quarterback that can torch a team, they're not gonna if we had. Obviously, we didn't have Cam Ward, but if we have Cam Ward in that game, Cam Ward, they're not playing that way against Cam Ward, right? If we have,
which opens up the run game.
Do we have Dylan Gabriel? They're not stacking the box against Dylan.
You're right, but once again, AJ. Oh my! I read Nolan's comment about AJ McCarron. I was about to say AJ.
I don't think AJ McCarron was asked. By the way,
Jaden Grayhouse and Jordan Fajon and Mitchell Evans. Or Jordan Faison and Mitchell Evans and Bo Collins were not good enough wide receivers that I would trust that we're going to win that game just because we have a passing quarterback. They're not better than the they're not good enough.
Now are better than last year.
And they are. I think having Malcolm Fields makes our wide receivers a lot better, because that's a guy they have to go out there and pay attention to.
Yeah.
And Pauling.
I will say this. Yeah. I think Pauling is better than Bo Collins, especially as a leader. It's important to have that as him. But let's not act like Carr can't move. I mean, he's not the fastest guy. He's not. I think he's a way step below Trevor Lawrence. But if he needs to get a first down, he's going to take off. He's going to get a first down. He's going to get a 5-yard run. Carr will run if he needs to. Now, he's not as good at it as Minchie, and he's not the fastest guy in the world, like I said. But he's not Peyton Manning slow. Right, he's not Manning slow.
Let me ask this question, and the chat can answer this too, because I'm interested. I could see answers for both, and I think I know what the answer is going to be from the majority because of the recent success with Riley. Who do you think Mike Denbrock, not Freeman, who do you think Mike Denbrock would have rather had under center last year? Deshaun Kaiser or Riley Leonard? Just based off of the offense he wants to run and the style he wants to play, which quarterback do you think he would have rather had?
I think he chooses Riley Leonard last year.
Wait, explain your question one more time.
So I'm saying based off of Mike Denbrock's system, what he wants to do, what he's done in Cincinnati, what he did at LSU, and what he did at Notre Dame in 2015. Which quarterback do you think he would have rather had? Deshaun Kaiser or Riley Leonard?
Offense, probably Kaiser. As a leader and a winner, Riley Leonard.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think Deshaun Kaiser sucked. I pray to God we never have a quarterback like Deshaun Kaiser ever again.
Let's talk about this. I think Denbrock preferred Carr.
See, I want to say that, right?
Wait, hold on.
I don't. But go ahead, do yourself, do it, you queen. Do it, you queen.
Deuce, at the beginning of the episode, like I said you had great analysis on Minchie, and I give you so much credit. And I agree, I support whoever won that job. Credit to you and all the analysis on Minchie. But I don't think Kenny won that job because the Notre Dame Post said C.J. Carr is the quarterback, not Kenny Minchie. Just saying. But credit Deuce on your analysis. I think you had a lot of great analysis with Minchie. But what were we saying before that?
That's what you're saying. You're saying how you think Denbrock won Carr over Minchie?
Oh, yes, I do. I do.
I don't
agree? Really?
No, not by a mile. I think Denbrock won. I think Denbrock won Minchie by a mile.
Yeah, I think that Minchie.
I think this was a Geno decision. I think this was a Marcus Freeman decision. And well, at the end of the day, it was a Marcus Freeman decision. But I think it was Geno was on Carr's side because Geno wanted to prove that he could produce a top talent, and Freeman just wanted to get the job done, and that's what led to him picking Carr. I think Denbrock wants Minchie.
Wouldn't that defeat the narrative that Freeman prefers the Riley Leonard style offense? Because that was a narrative that people came up with, was like the whole be conservative, don't take deep shots, like that. That was like
I don't understand where we get the idea that Kenny Minchie doesn't have the ability to throw the ball deep or won't take a deep shot.
It's because of the damn media. The media, all they put out was
fuck the media.
Yeah, like they kept saying
like
Kenny.
Grandpa.
Like all the media kept saying was Kenny just takes the underneath throws. He takes too many sacks. He doesn't throw the ball downfield. This was what they were saying. And everybody ran with that.
Don't believe that for a single second because Mike Denbrock compared him to Jane Daniels.
Which is...
Oh, you made me think of something I do want to bring up. I do think Marcus Freeman, and I said this and a lot of people disagree, and it, to be honest, as Notre Dame fans, kind of upset, like frustrated me because Marcus Freeman, whether he's a defensive-minded coach or not, he has earned the trust that whether he picked Minchie or Carr, we support either Minchie or Carr with the decision Freeman makes. Freeman has done enough as a coach that we trust Freeman. I trust Freeman with the decisions that he made. Like, if Freeman picked Minchie, I trust Marcus Freeman. He's earned that trust, and he hasn't done anything not to sway away from that. And a lot of fans were like, well, I don't trust Marcus because he's not quarterback-minded. He's our head coach that just led us to the Natty. You trust him unless proven otherwise. And that did frustrate me. Because, like, yes, he's not an offensive-minded coach, but he has offensive-minded individuals around him, Mike Denbrock and others. And do you really think he made a decision without talking to them?
I think what we had happen here is I think Denbrock, it's kind of like the CEO because that's what Freeman is. He runs the team like a CEO. Denbrock's his CTO. Geno's his COO. I don't know what Chris Ash is. He's the contractor. Because let's be honest here, I don't know if he'll be here that long. But I think what happened is that they brought him these options. Geno and Denbrock both brought their options. And Denbrock said, I think Kenny Minchie can be the next Jane Daniels, next Desmond Ritter. And I think Geno said, well, look at Carr. Carr's able to fit into this offense. He's a gunslinger. He's got to be able to throw the ball. We're not going to be pass deficient this year. Even compared to last year, we're going to pass the ball a lot more, even with freshmen or redshirt freshmen.
Also, I do want to point out, there's this misconception that a gunslinger can't win a championship at Notre Dame. And I think like this comment here,
Joe Montana was a gunslinger. We just didn't use him correctly.
Also, when has passing to everywhere? For me, Notre Dame in my lifetime, I have never seen Notre Dame have an elite level offense and an elite level defense in the same year. Like the closest we got to that was
last year.
Was 2015.
We had level offensive defense last year just because we ran the ball.
We had elite level rush offense. I'm talking about, Ben, when I say that, I'm talking about elite level in terms of being able to be elite at passing and running the ball. The only time we've had that offense.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think we would have been able to be elite passing the ball if Mike Denbrock just trusted in Leonard. Because in times when Leonard had to make the passes, he did. Like, and some of those passes were really good. Like the one to Greyhouse in the Natty game, the one that was over his shoulder, that was a good pass. That was actually, to be exact, it reminds me a lot of that Malachi Fields pass that C.J. Carr threw. That's a ball that only your wide receiver can get, and his wide receiver got it.
And so, but that's my thing is like with that comment, Notre Dame has never had both an elite balanced offense and an elite defense in the same. Like if that 2015 team had last year's defense, they win a natty. Like that, nobody was stopping Kaiser and Fuller and Josh Adams. Nobody was doing that. And the every game we played, nobody stopped that offense. The only reason we lost 2 games that year was because the defense was garbage. And like that's what I mean is like that. I think Notre Dame's never going to be Lincoln Riley USC, Lincoln Riley Oklahoma, those air raid where they put up tons of points, tons of yards, right? That's never going to be happening.
Well,
That's just not our style.
because Notre Dame
But
wants to win national championships.
Yes,
They don't want
but-
to break scoring records. Like, I'm
Yes,
sorry, that doesn't
but-
work in college football.
No, but Ben, but Notre Dame can be elite on both sides of the offense, and
Yes. And
be
it could be
balanced.
this year. Let's talk
Good.
about this, though. Last year, in terms of games with Jeremiah Love or whatever, they still did great running the ball, but teams did what against us? They stacked the box. Could
Yeah.
you imagine the running game with Price and Love? If Carr just a little bit has the ability to make some throws, if
I'm
he
not
can
gonna-
make throws to where it makes the defense have to stay back, that run game's opening up way.
Could you imagine, like, just
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't see that different. Like Riley and Carr, I do. Riley and Kaiser, I do. I don't see that difference here of Kenny and Carr, to where we're not going to be able to do that.
Talking about Carr as our starter compared to.
Oh, okay. I thought we were comparing. I thought we were still trying to say
done
that Kenny
comparing
was
then,
still
QB.
okay.
Yeah.
Just okay, making sure. Got it.
I think my thing is like there are people in the fan base that want to play the conservative type of ball where they just hand the ball off, dink and dunk, and don't push the ball down the field.
And then they get mad.
I
They
don't
scored
agree.
7 points in the first quarter because
I don't agree with that. Like I don't agree with your average yard per throw being 5 yards. Like that's and again like
Pedestrian.
I want to see us, like, I'm not saying throw the ball deep 15 times a game, but I'm saying, like, can we at least, like, take a deep shot 6 times a game, 5 times a game? Like, I'm not asking for a lot. I just want to be a threat. Like, I don't want teams to be like, oh, well, Notre Dame's just going to dink and dunk, keep everything in front of us, stop the run, and we'll beat Notre Dame. I want teams to be like, hey, we're scared that Notre Dame's going to beat us over the top.
And then
That
that
adds
running
another
game is
dimension.
fucking exploding.
Yes, that will only improve your running game. And that's why, like, I think Denbrock's style of offense is perfect if he has the right quarterback because it's built off of the running game and play action shots. That's why Jaden Daniels at LSU was so damn hard to defend because, 1, he could take off. 2, they did run the ball pretty effectively. And 3, then they had play action and they had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. to kill you. And that's why they were the number 1 offense. Nobody was going to stop them.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Carr, too, compared to that offense, they had the receiver threats. If Malachi Fields is even close to BTJ, but then you have Love and Price, that's crazy with the O-line we have. But, like, I do think this. I think CJ Carr is going to be the first quarterback drafted in the first 2-3 rounds in an NFL draft in a long time. Like, I think with having 2-3 years as a starter at Notre Dame, this guy, if he consistently makes the playoffs, has his name out there, I see him as a second-round pick. I don't want to say first because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen a first-rounder at Notre Dame, so I don't want to really say first, but I think he could be a second or third-rounder for sure. Yeah. I want to say first. I think he has to be a first, but I've never seen that.
They had Matt Zenitz. Matt Zenitz was talking about that they view CJ Carr, according to the 247 composite rankings, they view him as a potential first-round pick.
He's a 2 to 3 year starter for a team that makes the playoffs, and if he makes some plays, I could see him being the next Nussmeier. I can see him being the next, you know.
I think
the big thing with that is that we're getting way ahead. I just need this guy to win us games.
Yes.
I think it's great to say like, yeah, he could be a guy who's got to compete for a Heisman someday. We just need him to go out there and make the plays to win us games.
I don't think we'll ever compete for a Heisman because of how often we run the ball. Personally.
I've talked about this. I think
you have
this year. I think this year will be Stetson Bennett's first year at Georgia. Not in terms of like the accomplishments, but I'm saying like what Stetson Bennett was asked to do his first year at Georgia, which was rely on that defense, hand the ball off, convert. They were one of the best third down offenses in the country in terms of third down efficiency, and that had a lot to do with Stetson Bennett. And then maybe the next year, where Carr kind of his numbers go up a little bit, he throws more touchdowns, has 1,000 more yards, and because let's be honest, Love's going to be gone. We don't know what Price is going to do. We're going to have Aeneas Williams and Keidron Young most likely, right? Yeah. They're not Jeremiah Love. They're both great running backs, but they're not Jeremiah Love level.
So the team will downgrade a little bit.
I think the team will be downgraded a little bit in terms of offensively. You're going to lose Fields. You're going to lose Pauling.
You're going to lose offensive linemen.
Yeah, like you're going to lose offensive linemen. So I think then's where they're going to kind of open it up his second year, and we'll see Carr kind of throw that ball a little bit more. And yeah, we got Uncle Jim.
Uncle Jim said Nolan James.
We have Nolan James as well.
Oh, wait, there's another comment he put in there. What did he say there?
What is this bullshit?
How old
hey,
is
just a bunch of idiots talking ball, Jim.
Because when he lives in Arizona, we were talking about that today.
Well, there is in fact one idiot in here. We're not going to point out who. He might be the one who has the Twitter name posted under his thing.
Yeah.
I agree, Uncle Jim. Nolan James is a beast.
But what I'm saying is like Nolan James and Aeneas Williams, Keidron, they're all really good. But I don't think as of right now they're Jeremiah Love, clearly best running back in the country level running backs right now.
Oh, we didn't know that about. We need to fully understand something here. We have this keen ability of scouting running backs and building running backs. Like we always find the right coach, we always get the right guy. We don't know if they're going to be that good. They're probably going to be pretty good running backs. Like I don't think have we ever had a running back that you could say just was that good? Like, I don't know if we've ever had one that I could say, like maybe Tony Jones Jr., but Tony Jones Jr. was still okay.
I think we've had a lot. Notre Dame always has a good running back. I think the worst running back Notre Dame's had would probably be Jafar Armstrong.
And even he was good. He still got passing.
He was okay.
He
would start out. He was going to start at most schools,
but
he transferred to Illinois, and he was
backup, right?
Yeah.
I will say that I do think recent memory, especially with Kyron, Estime, now Loved, and Price, we're starting to get a trend where we're like an RBU type of thing, where I think that we're at a point where with the coaching staff and development, how they keep, no matter what, we have Love, we have Price. Aeneas Williams is playing since he was a freshman. Nolan James gets in there. So they have the reps. We've seen them when they're the starter and they're ready. So that I think that they are doing a very good job of developing running backs. And I think our running back coach is going to do an excellent job at that too.
Jafar Armstrong wasn't the starting running back that year.
He wasn't starting? I thought he started against Michigan.
No. Well, he might start against Michigan. He was not the number one back that year.
Okay.
He only had like 300 yards. I can guarantee you.
Was that 2018?
He got hurt that year. That's why.
That was Tony Jones' junior year, and he almost got a grand. He probably would have got 1,000. He almost got 1,000 scrimmage.
Armstrong.
Like every year we could say that throughout the most of the part of the year we had a top level running back.
Yeah, but
I'm
just saying like there are levels to this.
Then we were having running backs go either undrafted or 6th or 7th round picks. Now we're having guys getting drafted in the first 4 rounds.
Besides Josh Adams and not Julian, Jeremiah Love, those are the only 2 backs that have been in legitimate Heisman conversations. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying like good. Like I think Notre Dame's always going to have a good running back. It's like Michigan's always going to have a good running back.
Yeah.
Penn State.
But I'm saying like there's a different level that Jeremiah Love, Josh Adams kind of got to, at least in 2017. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And I agree with what June said in the comments, where it's like, they may not end up being Love, but Young, James.
They're going to be good running backs. They're not going to be, deficits in our team. We're not going to be like, oh, we don't have a running back this year. We have this ability. It might be Kendrick Young. It might be Aeneas Williams. It might be, it's not going to be Javion Osborne, but it might be one of those guys who come in and do really well.
Does Jabron Payne have any eligibility next year?
Yes, Jerome Payne does have a year of eligibility left.
The fact that he's come back makes me think.
I don't think he's.
If he gets the opportunity to compete for that spot, I think he competes for the spot. Now, if they tell him that we're gonna like, hey, buddy, you've been here long enough. You can't even break the top 2 with these guys. I don't think he stays after the spring game. He probably leaves, but who knows?
I think he's like, as he's about to get his degree. I think that's kind of what he's aiming for. Otherwise, I think
Price
gone.
comes back unless he has a blockbuster 1,000-yard year. But if he has another 700-yard year, I think Freeman would say, "Hey, Price, you have come back one more year. Show that you're the main guy." And then
does Price have an eligibility year yet left?
Yes, Price has another year left.
Do we see Price coming back?
I
don't think so.
It depends on this year. But if he has 700 yards and 8 touchdowns again, why don't he, Marcus Freeman, say, "Hey, come be the main guy. Come have the Jeremiah Love role and get drafted higher, make more money next year, and make money at Notre Dame." Compared to getting a 7th, 6th round pick, a Donovan Edwards undrafted vibe.
That's one thing you do have to question though. Like, at what point is it that we're saying, "Oh, these guys are
better
in that area"? Yeah.
Well, I think it could be.
Oh damn, he's only a junior. Shit.
Yeah, because he got hurt and he was redshirted.
Forgot about that.
I could see Price maybe going to the league. Like, I know that's crazy, but like, if he's
it's really got to be what his intentions are.
It's more likely he goes to the league. I just think it depends. If he has 1,000 yards this year, well, I think if he has 1,000 yards this year, hopefully Jeremiah Love's okay. But if they have an Allen and Singleton type year, yeah. But if he has another year where he's 700 yards, I just don't. I think why not come back and just be the main guy and show the NFL?
Well, I think June brings up a good point. Do we believe that him having, well, not that point, the next one he brings up. Do we believe that having him on the roster is better than what a guy like Young or Williams can do, or future guys can do? Do we believe having him on the roster is better?
I think next year having a Price and Aeneas Williams as the main 2 would be amazing.
Even if that means missing out on Kendrick Young?
If Kedron Loves leaves, then we have Nolan James, and we're going to then have another top 100 running back that's going to come in and, be developed.
Also, let's think about it. Like, you also got to think about it years down the road, too, because you have Kamon Spell in the 27 class, and
we're not getting, oh my God, do not start that narrative, please.
And I'm saying if you get him, I don't care whether it is.
If I shit gold, I can get us all season tickets.
But I'm saying if we get him, like, he's gonna start. He's gonna start as a true freshman at Notre Dame. Like, there is no debate. He's that good. But yeah, and then what is it? That's Noah, by the way. Noah says I'm too high on Young to lose.
All right, so we just gotta spend the whole time talking about this, or we gotta go to the air topics.
Well, so we can't hold on.
Carr is a big deal. I don't know why.
Yeah, the other topics are kind of, but I do want to bring up, where's that one? What do you guys think about this? Carr's mental in a game like Miami, and how many shots he takes. Like, are you guys worried about that at all?
No, I think both of these quarterbacks are the same mental.
He's asking that because of the Geno comment.
I think Geno needs to be taken out back and fucking shot. Like, realistically, he needs to shut the fuck up.
I do think that having a...
Don't do that. I'm not supporting that. Do not do that. I'm just saying he's a fucking idiot. He needs to shut up.
Having a freshman quarterback come on the road, right? Like, I do think his first start, it's going to be tough, but you rely on the run game and offensive line. I think he takes 1 or 2 shots. I think he's going to throw 20 passes, right? But I think that game is going to be relying on the run game. Also, I'm very interested with that guy with the purple profile pic on YouTube. I saw Indy Forever. I wanted to see what he said.
He said, I thought this panel was reserved for ball goers. And he said, not you, June, just referring to the Indy Forever.
Thank you.
He said that you're not a ball knower.
I know.
Okay.
I gotta make this openly clear. Do not go and do anything illegal to Geno Gaduli. He's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Main point of yeah.
I'm
Would you not
hearing he's
We're
there, and I
taking
got
that.
double the
We
followers.
do not condone any illegal actions taken towards anybody in the Notre Dame fan base
But
or
before
team.
we switch from
All
Carr,
right.
I do want to say,
Yeah.
like at the beginning, we all would have supported no matter who the starter was. We think all of them are fantastic options, and we all are excited for the career of CJ Carr and what he can do for this program.
Well, no, I'm pissed. I want Tyler Buckner so freaking bad. I'm so upset.
Man. All right. So
It
we
was
got two more
7 pick
topics.
sixes. Damn it.
We got two more topics to get into, and they'll be kind of quick. I haven't seen anything yet, so there's still a right guard battle between Gerby Lambert and Sullivan Absher, which is to me is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Gerby being a tackle. Dude is a freak of nature. Like, I was 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
He looks like an NFL
6'7".
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. I know what you're doing.
How do you guys feel? Like, are you guys worried at all with, obviously the Jagasaw injury and starting one of Gerby or Absher at right guard heading into Miami?
Everything I've been hearing is that it's very close, but I've heard that Gerby has a slight edge right now. I've heard that Gerby has a little bit of an edge. So,
well, I heard Brian Driscoll.
Right.
I heard Brian Driscoll say that it's guaranteed. They already told the team it's gonna be Gerby.
No, but in all seriousness, I'm not worried. I think offensive line is super deep. I think no matter what, whoever starts will be our starter next year at some point. I think both are great options. Just like Carr, I think the ceiling of a Gerby Lambert's a little higher than Sullivan, right? But I think both would be fantastic. I do agree with you, Ryan, where it is a little interesting because I did envision Gerby as a tackle. Like maybe a Will Black and Gerby would be the two tackles at some point. But you never know.
Yeah.
Eventually, he could either move him outside. It's great for him to get game reps. But if he's one of the best five, you play him. And everything I've been hearing, just the ceiling and everything for Gerby, he's just it's even. But Gerby's looked a little better from what I've heard, and I think it'll go to Gerby. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sullivan wins. I truly think it's 50-50. If you tell me Sullivan's starter, I'm like, great. I'm not surprised. And I just think from everything I've been seeing, it looks like. So, I mean, who knows? There could be another Minchie scenario. Everyone's saying it's Minchie, and it looks like it's Gerby, and then Sullivan's a starter. But I
swear to God, if I get Brian Driscoll, they told the team. My sources say this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Man.
I'm just gonna trust whoever they put out there. I trust his coaching staff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with June. June said Gerby's the better choice just because June said it. I don't really see the difference. I see the difference. Let me stop myself. I see the difference, but I don't see it being one of those things that gets I feel like we're gonna find this out probably by Thursday who the starters are.
I think we find out when the depth chart is released for the first game.
Was not on Thursday.
It should be. I do agree, Uncle June. I mean, like you said a little more in depth of everything I said with the center thing with Absher, but I agree Gerby's the better choice. Ryan, do you agree?
Yeah, I think Gerby. I do like that. I'm blanking on our offensive line coach right now.
Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph. I do like that
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
I've read some articles that he's really loves versatility on the offensive line, and wants guys to play all different, be able to play all, guard, tackle, center, which is great because if we saw last year, you can lose 3 offensive linemen in a year, and just because Will Black's tackle, to have a 5-star caliber tackle right there that can just fill in and play guard if need be is, it's a big thing to have. So I do like that. I do agree though. I think Gerby, we were so excited when he committed. I think Gerby's the best option there. Like I said, he already looks like a starting NFL tackle, NFL offensive lineman right now. Just from the pictures we saw in camp. There's no way to me Gerby's not a first-round pick here or a second-round pick here in the next couple of years. which I'm excited to see to get him play because I was at the mindset he was going to be kind of what Sean had said about him and Will Black be the starting tackles for years to come. I was expecting him to kind of be that fill-in for Emil Wagner when he's done, but evidently, that development has been, what do you call it, accelerated with him. So I'm excited. What about the free safety battle? I know
who's in it?
Jalen Stroman, Tay Johnson, Jadon Blair, and Talich. So I want to say, I can't remember. I think Stroman might have got announced the starter, but I'm not 100% sure. If
we
not,
see it end up being like a rotation between him and Blair.
I think I'll be honest, it's so close with all four of them. I don't know. Like, do you rotate all of them? Or do
No,
you kind of cut it to two and you just kind of go?
I think you cut it to two.
I was going to pull up it. As what? No, okay. I don't get the comment, but whatever. Okay. I get it now. Never mind.
Yeah, I get it now.
What happened?
Don't.
Nothing. We'll talk about it later.
What do you think about
when you're
that?
older?
What do you think about that, Sean? The free safety battle. It seems like Stroman's going to be the starter, but it seems like it's really close between him, Talich, Tay Johnson, and Jadon Blair. There's four guys that are all playing at a high level in camp. How do you go about that if you're Freeman?
Yeah, that's great. You just rotate guys. You let them contain health throughout the season, and you Stroman might be out there with Schuler, and then you can sub in Luke Talich, and then you can, just Tay Johnson. They're going to play. Freeman said it doesn't matter who's the starter; the twos are going to play just as much as starters. So yeah, I do think Jalen probably rolls out there first, but I don't think he plays many more snaps than a Luke Talich or a Tay Johnson. They're going to sub in there. To be honest, the safety position who starts out of all of the other ones might be the least important. I don't want to say least important because the quarterback and the offensive lineman is going to play the whole game.
Well, realistically, how much drop-off is there from Jalen Stroman to Luke Talich? How much of drop-off is there from Talich to Tay Johnson? How much drop-off is there from Tay Johnson to Jadon Blair, realistically?
For experience from Talich to Tay, and then from Stroman from Virginia Tech to Talich. I just think experience.
Yeah, so he said, June said, I would assume Stroman and Talich rotate until someone solidifies themselves. Yeah, I could see that. I do think it's great for that room because remember last year the question was going to fill in at strong safety after DJ Brown left, and it was like Adon Schuler, and there was no competition there. So I do find
after
that
DJ Brown left.
Yeah, after DJ Brown left.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's a good situation to have. But when you had you hear the stuff about Jadon Blair and how Tay-Tay's playing, it's going to be hard to keep them off the field. Just
at the end of the day, I think we make the right decision. I think, I've said the same thing about the quarterback room. Said the same thing about our slot guy. If it was Gabby Pauling or Fajon, I think it's got to be coaches will make the right decision because that's what they've not shown us they haven't made the right decision before. Maybe you could say Drew Pine, but that was a.
Oh, are you talking about the quarterback? When has he ever made the right decision?
No, I'm talking about overall when he's making the right decision just on any player, the whole coaching staff. I trust in the coaching staff completely.
Good.
All right, let's final topic. As we're kind of still going through our season preview. USC, this might be the final year of this game. It's looking like that's going to be the case. What are your guys' thoughts on this game, and do you think USC has a chance to play spoiler here?
Yes. So Brian or Ben, you go first.
We're gonna kick their pansy asses all the way back to fucking Southern California. If we don't win this game by 30, it's a disappointment. This fucking team their fucking head coach. We're going to get taken off the internet because I'm saying the F word too much. They're all a bunch of women's areas. They don't want to play us. They don't want to come here after October. They make us go there in fucking November. They're a whole bunch of pussies. Like, and I don't want to say, and this is the only team I don't like in college football. A lot of people give me crap because I'm not a Michigan. I'll say it. I'm not as connected to the Michigan Notre Dame rivalry because like
it ended when you first started watching Notre Dame.
I only had 2 years of it. I had the year that we should have won 38-0, and I have the year we got our asses handed to us. I've only had 2 years of it, and realistically, I've never had arguments with Michigan fans. But USC is the bottom of my shoe. That's how I see USC, the piece of gum at the bottom of my shoe. They are a fake they are a fake team. They're not tough. They're fucking Cali boys who talk too much shit. They're gonna come here. They're gonna talk shit. Hell, it's probably gotta be a college game day because I guarantee USC will be a top 25 team, and we'll probably be a top 25 team. It'll be a big rivalry game.
We better be.
If USC comes here and we do not beat them by 30, fucking gassers until the lights turn off.
If this is the last year of USC Notre Dame, I'm going to get so much shit for this, and I don't care. If this is the last year of Notre Dame USC, but we're still playing Navy consistently, what the hell are we doing? I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Well, at least Navy will come here past fucking October.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Before you get to that point, I totally forgot. We do have to play this, and I'll let you continue this point.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
We are back. So back to USC Notre Dame. Sean, I knew you were kind of giving your thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, you're right, Ben, about at least past October. But for me, it's like you can't. Michigan's done. If you're not playing Michigan and USC as a Notre Dame program, but you're playing Navy every year, I think that's an issue. Like it's not Notre Dame's fault; it's USC's fault. And I'm not putting this on Notre Dame. But this is a rivalry that needs to happen. And there's two programs I hate more than anything, and that's USC and Michigan. And, I mean, I am glad that they're making Clemson a rivalry because that at least gives us something. But at the same time, USC is a top 5 rivalry in college football. And if they took that away, what are we doing? Like, this is a game you look forward to every year. The tickets for that game when Ryan and I went were insane. And the hotel prices, when I went to South Bend, hotels were like $1,000 to stay there a night.
Yep, that's why I stayed at.
It's a good thing you're with big money over there.
No. That's why I stayed at La Quinta. So
yeah, I had to change hotels. I went to this Days Inn or Night Sleep Inn, and it was like piss all over the bed. And I just said, I'm sleeping.
Oh,
God damn it! But no, the way this fan base talks. First off, the fucking hypocrisy. They're all hypocrites. The whole fucking fan base. Hypocrisy. The hypocrisy, the hypocrisy. I'm making up words. I just took smelling salts. That's the way my fucking brain's working right now. The hypocrite of the USC fans. They're like, oh, Notre Dame hasn't won a title since 1988. Dude, there's players on your team that haven't seen you win a fucking title. Stop flexing your title in 2004. Nobody cares about what you did with Reggie Bush. And then they go after Notre Dame like, oh, well, they're a Catholic school. They hit all that stuff about the priest. O.J. Simpson was your fucking running back. You still have his jersey retired. Don't come at us about our fucking morals. Like, this is something like only fan base I have this opinion about because USC is just such a shitty fan base. It's not all USC fans. There's good USC fans out there. There's good people out there.
We hate all USC fans.
The ones that come at us are the biggest idiots of all time. Like the ones that are on here on Voice College Football are pretty good people. I'm never gonna disagree. But like the ones that are like on Twitter, the ones that are in college football group chats, the ones that come at us on Twitter who are like, oh, we need to Notre Dame didn't accept USC's offer. It's because Notre Dame never got USC's offer. You can't accept an offer that never exists, dude.
Also,
like I hate to tell you.
How is it they spin it to where Notre Dame didn't agree to their offer when we sent them a 10-year offer first and they declined it? Like that, then they spin it in, well, Notre Dame just doesn't want to play. If they wanted to play us, they would have signed our offer. No, if you wanted to play us, you would have signed our 10-year offer that we sent you first, and instead of sending us back one that was a 1-year offer that you didn't want to commit to anything because you're scared to lose to Notre Dame every year.
I do think this gets resolved, and I think we will sign an extension. I don't think it'll be.
I don't know. I don't think Lincoln Riley. I think that the
I don't think Lincoln Riley has a say, dude. They'd fire his ass.
Yeah,
there are boosters out there.
Director at USC knows how important this game is.
There are boosters out there that said they will pull their yearly donations if this game does not happen. And they're not just boosters. They're not just boosters who donate like $5,000. They're boosters that are on the Forbes top 100 list.
This is why I believe it is a Riley thing, because if you listen to Lynn Swan.
Oh no, I think it's a Riley thing.
Like it's,
but
that's what I mean.
I don't think he has a choice like people think.
I'm saying that I think Riley's the one that's pushing for this game to go away. And if I had LSU fans, and I hate LSU fans because of the Brian Kelly stuff, but we kind of bonded over this. I found out that Lincoln Riley was trying to back out of the LSU game last year. And
good thing
that was the whole thing. They won it, but that was the thing. He was trying to back out like a month before the game was played. And
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is a whole Big Ten, and not Big Ten thing as the way that USC's trying to do it. They're trying to get rid of a rivalry. But I think this is a Big Ten thing. They're trying to do the SEC thing where we saw IU do it. They schedule a whole bunch of nobodies out of conference, and they do all this crap.
Florida
and now we're here.
State. Georgia still plays Georgia Tech. You still
outside of Notre Dame, what is it? USC plays Missouri State and like Nevada.
Yeah.
Like, what are we?
Well, I don't know. Penn State's gotta give them a run for their money.
Penn State plays Villanova. Oh, big whoop.
Let me say, I do think that Notre Dame wins this game. I do think that this is a top 3 game, most likely for us to lose if I had to pick one. But I do think we win this game. I like I told you, I want to say undefeated. I'm going to say undefeated. I think we could go 11-1, but I'm going to say undefeated.
I just don't think USC is good enough to beat us. I don't. I think with the ad and everything else, I definitely don't think they're going to beat us now.
I just think with it being a rivalry, you never know. And I'm always going to say that with USC Notre Dame.
I've seen people pick USC to win this game.
Yeah.
And for one, I don't think USC's got the team this year. 2,
they got the quarterback.
It's at Notre Dame at night. And 3, USC has not beaten Notre Dame in South Bend since 2011 when Matt Barkley was their quarterback. I just don't think this is. I think they're gonna get. I think they're gonna get their ass kicked from start to finish in this game. It's gonna be like the Caleb Williams game, but worse.
Yeah, we win this. I mean, I think we win. I'm just saying that on the schedule of all the games, I do think with it being a rivalry, it being USC, if you tell me you're picking USC, I'd be like, what the fuck? But at the same time, I'd be like, it's a rivalry. Like whenever Ohio State and Michigan plays, Michigan can be trashed like last year and still beat the national champions. Not comparing USC and Michigan by any means, but with it being a top 5 rivalry, it's going to be a dogfight in some way, shape, or form. That's all I'm saying. Is that it's going to be a tough game. Now, whether that tough game is us winning by 5 touchdowns or 3 points, you never know. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, Ben, they are getting after you in the comments. That's crazy.
Me?
No, Ben.
They're going
Well,
after
and
me.
you. And you, Sean. They are going after you.
It's all right.
That's good.
It's the same guy.
But no, we're gonna if we don't beat the shit out of USC, like if we don't send them home wishing that they never made this fucking rivalry, then I don't
Yeah.
like we're a better team. USC, all
Maybe
this
let the game be closer so USC thinks they have a chance, and then we'll just we'll resign the series and then whoop their ass because I don't want to whoop them too bad to where they don't want to play us every year.
I want to beat them by 70.
I'm not gonna lie. If you asked me in
kidding.
July what I thought the score was gonna be, I thought it would have been closer. We're hearing USC got a lot better. I'm looking at how USC's playing now in practices and in camp. They're not playing better. They are not playing better than they did last year.
I do want to answer this question, and then we can kind of get out of here. Well, first things first, before I answer this, see, overall, I think we all think Notre Dame wins. What would your guys' score prediction be?
Ben.
My score prediction: go Notre Dame 43. You know what? 37-0. They're not going to call back the pick six this time.
Give me Notre Dame 38, USC 21 or 24. I think we won by 14.
Okay. I'm going Notre Dame 49, USC 20. We win by 29, a point extra than what we beat them by, and Caleb Williams is there. I think it's my favorite phrase, belt to ass from start to finish. So yeah. So I do want to answer this question that no one asked. How can I be a guest speaker on the pod? So we're going to talk about it between me, Ben, and Sean. But so when the season starts, we will be doing a weekly call-in show along with this. I have to figure out everybody's availability for that. But it'll probably be an hour long towards the end of the week, like Thursday, Friday. We'll have a call-in show where like we will have like the StreamYard link in the chat so anybody can hop in. Gonna try to keep it to 5 to 10 minutes per guest in case it gets wild. But we'll kind of let you guys in the chat.
We're not gonna do any like guest host, right? I mean, like we're
no. We're the host. People
we're
just
gonna have people come on and call and ask a question, leave, and then have another person call.
Yes, yeah.
It's not going to be like someone's going to join us for an episode like a recruit or something. That's what makes it big.
To get some guys with some substance. We'd love that, man.
Well, guys, I messed up as our resident alcoholic. I showed an Irish car bomb for this. That's my bad.
You're not going to steal Paul's sunshine.
Bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not going to steal 5 foot nothing's sunshine.
He's not in here though. Like I should have done it. That's my bad.
5 foot nothing's been in my fantasy baseball league for about.
Sorry,
5
guys.
years.
Oh, damn.
We should have gotten in here.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, to all the 372 people that are watching right now, appreciate you guys tuning in. Go over to Notre Voice of College Football Notre Dame on YouTube. Drop a sub, like, comment. We go live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, we'll be working on getting a set time and day for the call-in shows, and we're gonna try to do post-game, like immediate post-game shows right after each game. That's going to be a little hard, though, but we'll figure that out because I know some of us are going to the games. So we'll have to try to figure that out. But
you want to do it on the day of the game?
Huh?
What? Can you repeat what you said?
The post-game, like a post-game show. Sometimes it might have to be the day after.
Okay.
But
if we lose, I'm not going to want to get on a podcast.
I'm not going to lie. If we lose and I'm hammered, you're going to hear a lot of shit that's going to get kicked
that's
off
fine.
the air.
That's fine. We want it to be fresh. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank all of you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Stay safe and go Irish.